Okay, 19th of February, UFC Fight Night. We have Johnny Walker taking on Jamahal Hill. And this to me is a really odd decision for Johnny Walker to take from beating in his last outing anyway. From beating Ryan Spann, then losing to Thiago Santos. You're getting a high-rated fight. You're getting some really good, feed. He was on a big hype train coming up, and it kind of got sat down by Corey Anderson quite gracefully, and then Nikita Krylov grinded that decision against him. And from that moment on, I thought everyone is completely off the Johnny Walker bandwagon. He hurt himself doing a celebration, and Jamahal Hill was looking the real deal until Paul Craig.
This is true. It's interesting. So Jamahal Hill, beat OSB, Ovince St. Preux, pretty easily.
Yeah.
Had him against the cage and just started unloading. Then he gets subbed by Paul Craig, like you're saying. But then the craziest thing is he beat Jimmy Crute.
Yeah.
Are you
Did not
kidding?
see that coming.
Jimmy Crute was probably a massive favorite in that one. That was a guy that I had my eyes on probably 1-2 years ago. Just a guy who's going to kind of steamroll people with his pressure, his wrestling. He's got power. He got knocked out. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
Quickly. Very quickly. Was it sub a minute? I want to say it was sub 1 minute.
48 seconds.
48 seconds. And he knocks out Jimmy Crute. Anthony Smith taught Jimmy Crute a big lesson. But Jamahal Hill might have just ended him getting into a top 10 position for a while. Especially, he got knocked out bad.
Yes, it was bad. And that was huge for him. So it is interesting now. I guess with that win, he deserves a higher level name. But like you're saying, for Johnny Walker, who just fought Thiago Santos in one of the slowest, most boring fights I've seen in a long time.
But it was super technical and actually quite close as well. I didn't think he looked quite good. He looked like he was a lot more drilled. I know he's down in Ireland at the moment, SBG with John Kavanagh, which was a very weird place to. I would never have placed him there if you were pinning people and sizes and there's not many light heavyweight guys over in SBG Ireland. There are a lot of lightweights down there to the 135 kind of division. A lot of them are in Cage Warriors themselves. The SBG guys, they don't have a lot of heavyweights. I don't know who he's sparring with, but he looked damn good against Thiago Santos compared to someone like Nikita Krylov, where he looked flat, and Corey Anderson, where he just started being his reckless self and got starched, which didn't help anyone. But no, I think this is actually quite a good fight for Johnny. Maybe that might be why he's taken it, because he thinks there's a weakness in Jamahal Hill. There's a little bit of a hype now. He got his arm snapped hard by Paul Craig while in a triangle choke and getting hammer fisted from the bottom. And I have Paul Craig as a very dark, he's the darkest of all horses in this division for me, because no one wants to hit them out with him. And Kalaev beat him up for 14 minutes and 55 seconds until the last buzzer, and then he got triangled. So there's a lot of good things to come out of Johnny Walker if he beats Jamahal Hill. But if he just grinds a decision, I don't see how this does anything for his stock. I think whoever wins this fight, if Jamahal Hill wins, that's great. Doesn't matter how he wins. But if Johnny Walker wins, he has to finish him, in my opinion. Otherwise, his stock does not rise, and he's going to keep getting these sort of fights now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Because, like you said, Johnny Walker, huge hype train. Yeah. And I kind of got into the UFC like not too long ago. But Johnny Walker was one of the first victims that I've fell victim to, is what I'm trying to say, is of the hype train. Because this guy, first round knockouts within the first 2 minutes, flying knees, spinning back fists, he was doing it all. And then the Corey Anderson fight, he came in as like a -300 favorite in that fight. And I convinced myself, I was like, he's going to run through him. And he got rocked.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, he's still kind of coming in as favorites to people, but he's still losing these fights to some bigger names, the bigger competition for sure. And then even the Ryan Spann fight, he very well could have lost that fight. I just rewatched that one recently. He got put down. He was knocked down. Ryan Spann jumped on him, didn't get to finish it. So credit to Johnny Walker for being able to withstand that. I don't know if he's chinny. Like, he's just been hit hard by big guys at 205. So I don't know if he's chinny for like his young age, But to me, with Jamahal Hill and him, Jamahal Hill's clear, weakness is going to be on the ground. Johnny Walker, I think, is a brown belt at least, so he has some of that background. It seems like Jamahal Hill's more new to the sport than Johnny Walker. Yeah. So I think the experience is going to play a factor here. So I hate picking Johnny Walker. I really do. He's just burned me so many times. But I do think this is a favorable matchup for him. I think if it stays on the feet, he can certainly hang with them. And if he wants to take it to the ground, which we haven't really seen yet, I think he has that potential and would win that way.
And when you have, for me, Jamahal Hill, who's a technical striker, I would say he favors his hands over his kicks. He likes boxing, and obviously showed in Jimmy Crute. But what you have with Johnny Walker isn't someone that's technically brilliant. He's explosive, and he just suddenly just flicks a switch, and he does a spinning back fist and KOs you. He does a looping left high kick. He'll do a wheel kick. He'll do whatever he can. He moves like a lightweight. He's super athletic, which is probably why he was so successful and exciting, kind of like a Michel Pereira, except without the backflip.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think that's
like
spot
Johnny.
on. I like him.
I like Johnny in this one.
And, 6'6", 82-inch reach. Like, you're saying he's athletic, but he's also massive for 205. He is a massive dude. And when he's explosive, it's game over. So, and he's got the 5-round experience now, the higher level of competition. You do add in those things. I don't make that like a huge part of my decision, but that definitely matters. The Thiago Santos fight, like that's massive for you to build up your,
and he's lost
your experience.
He's lost a lot now. When he was undefeated, he was doing the wild shit. Now he's lost. He's like, okay, I better tighten up a little technique here. Because I
need to lose a little bit,
I think you need to lose in your career. I really do. I mean, John Jones hasn't lost really, but he has. He's lost fights. He knows he's lost fights, in my opinion. And George St. Pierre's lost fights. All the greats has lost fights, Khabib, mate,
except Khabib.
He's the only one. So anyone that pulls that example can go away. But everyone else,
I think... like you see like a guy like Jan Blachowicz who went through so many ups and downs, but I feel like he learned so much from that, turns it on. Charles Oliveira, up and down, all of a sudden turns it on. Like he's a young guy. I think he has the tools there. I don't know if I love like the John Kavanagh coaching, if that's like the right style for him necessarily. So coaching could kind of hold him down a little bit, but in this fight in particular, I probably will go Johnny Walker, and I hate to do that.
Yeah, I just don't see what Jamahal Hill would have learned from losing to Paul Craig, other than don't go to the mat with a highest level black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, it's just not when you don't know jiu-jitsu.
right. Not smart.
To me, Jamahal Hill is still undefeated in the striking terms, and that's what this fight is going to be. Johnny Walker may have grappling, he don't use it, so he only uses it defensively, as get-ups and sprawling, essentially, and wall walking off the cage and underhooks, all the good stuff. So, no. Okay, we're both in agreement. Johnny Walker for the win. Anyone that thinks Jamahal Hill, please leave a comment, because I'd like to see why you think Jamahal Hill, if you think he can actually crack him and KO him, because I don't. So, I would like to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It can happen. He knocked out Jimmy Crute, and I did not think that was going to happen at all. And he put his lights out quick.
Quick.